Okay, example 2 here is a little bit of a review of graphing a function over an interval, which is something we did in 5-6. So if you want the details on that, you can go to 5-6. I'm just going to tag that in our notes. 5-6 notes for some further stuff. So in our 5-6 notes, it says the first thing we want to start off with is making a table of values so we know what to plot on our graph. Also, just like our domain and range, sorry, blank there, we want to be paying attention to open circles and closed circles. So my x values that they want me using are -3 all the way to 5. So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, to get that, I'm going to work smarter, not harder, and I'm going to not say that you couldn't. You could totally do this in your head and not use the calculator, but that just leaves room for error. So again, I'll review getting those absolute value bars, hitting your math button, arrowing over to number or num as it says, abbreviates, hit enter or choice 1. So now this one is it's important to make sure that you don't do what I did right here and keep the -3 inside the absolute value bars, because that is not what the equation says. The equation has the -3 on the outside of those absolute value bars, which is why it's important that you arrow out of those absolute value bars, or if you're using the TI-83, you need to close that parenthesis. And then -3, not negative, -3 on the end there. Second in table, and that will get us our points that we need. So I'm seeing a little bit of a nice pattern here. -3 starts at 0, and then 1, -2, -3, -2. So let's jot some of those down. 0, -1, -2, -3. And then it started to go backwards. So then it went back -2, -1, 0, and ends at 2. So -2, -1, 0, 1, ends at 2. All right, so I got my points. Now paying attention to my quote unquote, what I have here, restricted domain, which means there's going to be no arrows because I have endpoints. I have a start point and an end point. And I'm also paying attention to the fact that this not or equal to piece, I didn't need to do that to begin with the circling. This being not or equal to means that we're going to have an open circle at x equals -3, which I'm going right to my table to remind myself. It might seem redundant to you, but it'll save you the loss of points if you forget to do it in the long run. And now we paint a picture. So -3, 1, 2, 3, 0, open circle. And then -2, -1, -1, -2, 0, -3, but then we're on the back up again. 1, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Again, no arrows because we have a restricted domain. And just make sure you're using a nice straight edge to connect those. And we can label this with g of x. And I'm going to get fancy and even write the equation. And there we have it.